Ravens, Patriots, Sunday Night Football at the bank. We're going to preview this matchup, go over both teams' injury reports. Kyle Hamilton just popped up on the Ravens injury report today. We'll talk about that. We'll take a look at both sides of the ball and talk about how the Ravens can come out of this one with a win. We'll also go over some score predictions, some bold predictions, all that and more in today's episode of the Flock Rundown.
Ravens Flock. Flock Rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown game preview episode. We got an absolute banger of a matchup. Ravens Patriots this Sunday Night Football at the bank. Must-win game for the Ravens. The Ravens are a little more banged up than I would like coming into this matchup. Chidobe Awuzie did come back to practice today, but is officially listed as doubtful. So most likely will not be seeing him. TJ Tampa will fill in for his spot. Teddy Buchanan's obviously out. He's out for the season with the torn ACL. Jay Higgins, who returned to practice this week, is also ruled out for this game. And then we saw Kyle Hamilton pop up on the injury report today with an ankle injury. He did not have that throughout the rest of the week, so that happened at practice today. He ended up getting in a limited session, and some of the reporters were saying that he was limping around the locker room. So definitely something to keep an eye on. That's a big player. John Jenkins had 2 DNPs. He's officially questionable, but John Harbaugh said that he does expect him to go. He had an illness. And then Ronnie Stanley, also questionable, but is expected to go. Taking a look at the Patriots injury report, the only guy that is out is Robert Spillane, which is their leading tackler, and he didn't play last week either, so that is a big loss for the Patriots once again. And then Christian Barmore, Carlton Davis, Marcus Jones, and Harold Landry are all questionable. I don't think injuries are going to play a massive role in this matchup, but both teams have some important guys that may not be able to go. The Ravens are probably going to be without Awuzie, so that is an outside corner option that has been consistent for the Ravens for the majority of this season. I do like TJ Tampa. I think he can step up, but doesn't have as much experience. Not having Awuzie out there is a loss and a lack of depth at the bare minimum. And then Kyle Hamilton, that's definitely one to keep an eye on. I'm praying that he does not miss this game. I'm not expecting him to miss this game. I feel like Kyle Hamilton's banged up with something almost every single week. He ends up fighting through it and playing, but I don't like that it happened on a Friday practice. That sucks, man. It's so close to the game. So hopefully whatever's going on with that ankle, he can heal up and he's good to go on Sunday. If my gut is saying that Kyle Hamilton will be out there, but who knows? You get hurt on a Friday practice, you never know how serious that is. And then the Patriots are missing their leading tackler on defense, and that is a hit to their run defense as well, which struggled to contain the Bills last week. The Ravens run the ball a lot and really well. And taking a look at the spread for this game, the Ravens are favored by 3 at home. The over-under is 48.5. Weather doesn't seem to be a big factor in this one. At kickoff, it should be around 36 degrees, 10% chance of precipitation, and then there's about 10-mile-an-hour wind, but it's not going to be too cold, especially after coming off the coldest game in Ravens history last week. And we'll start with the Ravens offense in this one. I think the Patriots are going to assume that we are going to try and run the ball and establish a dominant run game, which is what we should always do. I'm not against that by any means, but that also could lead them to stack in the box, to selling out to stop that run. And if the Patriots are selling out early to slow this run game down, I think there'll be some opportunities through the air. But take what the defense is giving you. If they're not selling out to stop the run, pound Henry. Run with Lamar, Keaton Mitchell. That is a 3-headed monster on the ground. And the Patriots clearly showed that they struggled to stop the run last week, especially without their leading tackler on defense. And hopefully we can get out to an early lead in this one. That has been an issue for the Ravens throughout this season, is slow starts, playing from behind. Not in the Bengals game last week, but a lot of games this season we've had a slow first quarter, a slow first half. We're playing behind a score, behind 2 scores, like that Steelers game. It's hard to come back from that stuff. So, and you want momentum at home. You don't want the game to start and all of a sudden the crowd's kind of out of it. The Ravens playing with momentum and confidence at home with a lead is a dangerous unit, man. So I think it is very important to get off to a fast start, take whatever the defense is giving you. If they're selling out to stop the run, then attack through the air. But get off to a fast start. Make sure you can get some points early in this game. Get out to a lead. I think you'll be able to control the game throughout, and also in the second half, wear them down on the ground. They're not going to want to tackle Henry throughout this game. Nobody does. So I think you could really wear the Patriots defense down as the game goes on. And I say this every week, but the most important thing is hold on to the ball. Play a clean, smart game. Don't have a bunch of turnovers. Even if they're punching the ball, it's in your control to hold on to the ball, man. Let's catch the ball. Let's hold on to the ball. The conditions are going to be 30 degrees warmer than they were last week, so drop should not be an issue. And the Ravens need to make sure that they secure the ball and win this turnover battle, because they're going to win most games when they win this turnover battle. And the Patriots defense overall has pretty good rankings across the board. They are top 15 in almost every important category, but they are dead last in opponent red zone scoring percentage. They are allowing opponents to score a touchdown 75% of the time that they are in the red zone. And this stood out to me because the Ravens' red zone scoring percentage on offense is 31st in the NFL, and they only score a touchdown on 44% of the trips. So something's got to give here. I mean, the Ravens are not good at scoring in the red zone. The Patriots are not good at stopping people in the red zone. The Ravens, simple as it is, got to be good at scoring in the red zone against the worst red zone defense in the NFL. You have to finish drives. They're letting other opponents score 75% of the time. The Ravens need to score 75% of the time that they're in the red zone in this game. And I think they'll put up quite a bit of points if they're able to do that. Flipping over to the other side of the ball, looking at this Ravens defense going against the Patriots offense. The Patriots offense has been great this year. They've been moving the ball. Drake May has played out of his mind. Henderson has been explosive. He's busting off a big run almost every week. They got Stephon Diggs. Hunter Henry's reliable. Their line's playing well. They did lose their left tackle for this game, which is a big hit. The Ravens defense has to find a way to stop the run game between Stevenson and Henderson and limit Henderson's explosive plays. You know, we can't have a Montgomery-Gibbs combination like we had in week 3 at home. That comes to mind looking at this duo. I'm not saying that they're exactly that, but it reminds me of that, because you got a little bit of a power game in Stevenson. They're going to want to grind it out. And then you got an explosive back in Henderson who's busting one off every week. The Ravens have to eliminate the explosive plays from Henderson on the ground, slow down the run game entirely, make them one-dimensional, get some pressure on May, make him uncomfortable, show him some looks he hasn't seen before, and be careful of him running with his legs. Drake May shocked me this year of how mobile he is. He is able to be lethal in the red zone with his legs and also buy time with his legs. So watch out for him taking off and scoring. There's a lot to think about with this Patriots offense, but I love the way the Ravens defense has been playing. So if the Ravens defense has showed up last week against the Bengals and pitched a shutout 24-0 in Cincinnati, shows up in this New England game, if we're getting home with 4, if we are getting turnovers, then they're going to have a great day against this offense. And I'm hoping we're seeing that version of the Ravens defense where Draymond Jones and Mike Green are consistently getting pressure. Tavius Robinson, Travis Jones in the interior getting pressure. I think with Awuzie being out in this game, most likely that Drake may take some shots towards TJ Tampa's direction, but I trust TJ Tampa to make some plays too. I'm not saying he won't get beat. Obviously, the Patriots got some talented receivers. Diggs is always a weapon. This guy can run every route in the route tree, and great hands. You know, he's going to come down with a few. He's going to make some plays. I just think that the Ravens defense is playing at a very, very high level right now and just came off their best game of the season. So I do think that they are going to be able to get pressure and slow this run game down. It's really just going to be tackling and limiting explosive plays. The Patriots may try and take some shots downfield. The Ravens are pretty good at stopping that, though. I just think that this game comes down to limiting explosive plays, generating a turnover or two, and then holding on to the ball on offense. Obviously, winning that turnover battle is going to be huge for the Ravens. But I'm expecting a close game. I think the Ravens are playing for a bit more in this one. I mean, they are kind of in win or go home mode. If the Steelers beat the Lions, the Ravens cannot lose this game. You know, like, you have to keep pace with Pittsburgh and hopefully have a week 18 showdown for the division, but you can't afford any losses. The Patriots, you know, I know they're fighting off Buffalo, they're fighting for the 1 seed, but they're in the playoffs. They're not fighting for their lives, and I think the Ravens definitely should be playing a little bit more desperate in this one at home, and I got the Ravens winning this one 30-27. I think it's a close, tight game, though, man. I respect the Patriots. I think they got a lot of fight, and they're well coached. They're going to come out and play well. They're going to put up some points, but I do have the Ravens winning a close one. If the Ravens get rolling early and can force a couple turnovers, this score might be a lot further apart, but I do respect New England. They're having a great year. I love Vrabel, man. I think they're a really well-coached team that's going to be out there ready to fight, and that's why I'm thinking it's going to be a 3-point game, but we'll see how it plays out. I got Derrick Henry going for over 100 yards. I got Lamar Jackson throwing 2 touchdowns. I guess those aren't Super Bowl predictions, but that's what I'm going with on offense. And then on defense, I think that Draymond Jones gets a sack, Mike Green gets a sack, and I got Marlon Humphrey getting another interception in this one. So those are my bold predictions and score predictions for this game. But either way, just rooting for the Ravens to get a dub, man, with their backs against the wall. Let's keep this momentum going. Let's defend home turf. Sunday Night Football at the bank. No way we can lose, man. Black jerseys, no way. Let's go make a statement, and I can't wait for this game, man. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this. What's your score predictions, bold predictions? What are you thinking about this matchup? Let me know what your thoughts are on this game. Appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll let the greatest linebacker in the history of the game take us out.
Ravens flock. The Flock Rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. Podcast, the Flock Rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly.